Hi, welcome to Step by Step Financial Solutions Academy. My name is Adam Pilans and I've got a really special guest today, Phillip Mitchel from Chimney Pots Estate Agents. What we're going to do today is discuss all the important aspects of buying and selling your property. So without further ado, Phillip Mitchel, welcome to our show.
Hi Adam, thanks for having me. Hello everyone.
Excellent. Phil, tell me a bit more about your background. I know you've been involved in the estate agency for a very long time now.
Yeah, very long time. So I started as I left school 27 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah, 27 years I've been in estate agents, and my wife, so we've worked together for that period of time. So Chimney Pots is owned by me and my wife Emma, but yeah, excellent. So yeah, long time.
So am I right to say that between you and Emma you've got over 50 years of experience in the property market?
50 years of experience. Wow, yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you for taking your time out of the busy schedule. I really appreciate that. What we're going to do today is we're going to try to explain to our audience how the estate agents work. What are the important aspects of your work and why you should choose wisely when selling your property. Okay, so let's start with a role of an estate agent. What is the role of the estate agent? Why we should be paying attention to an agent before we choose, and what are the things to look out for? Obviously, it's a very big asset.
It's probably one of the biggest assets you'll own. So choosing a vehicle to get the best price and less stress, because everyone's got busy lifestyles, is very important. So doing your homework before actually visiting an estate agent is important. Look at their reviews, Google reviews, VFlow, whatever it may be. Have a look at it, have a look at their websites, see what people are writing about them, because it is important. It's very important, because otherwise you'll end up doing a lot of the chasing, pulling your hair out, yeah, costing you money. It's costing you money. We have the vehicles to be able to firstly get you the best price by marketing, but also after getting you the best price, chase the solicitors and get it through in a time scale that suits.
Yeah, because I think this is one of the key role, to make sure that the property is sold, but as well that everything is done towards the exchange and completion, because selling the property is not the one thing. There is a lot of work after that. Am I right?
Yeah, that's where we get a lot of our praise from, is the way that we firstly market the properties, but communicate with you throughout the transaction, and the solicitors, mortgage advisors, surveyors, making sure we pull all of them together to get it through in a time scale that suits. In my experience at the moment, it's taken a long time, as there's a backlog of solicitors. So getting someone to chase that for you is very important.
Right, excellent. So the estate agents can sometimes even make or break a deal, right? They can make the things happen, but at the
but keep it together.
But the lack of activity and the lack of contact could be a problem, especially in like a chain situation, right?
Correct. People go cold. People lose their jobs, unfortunately, at the moment with everything going on. So things change. So the longer it's sat doing nothing, i.e. with the solicitors, the more likelihood it won't go through. So to have someone to be able to chase it for you on a weekly, daily, whenever needed basis is important. Chimney Pots has got a vehicle whereby you can actually go and after hours 24/7 and check and update the progress of your transaction.
That's amazing.
So if you've finished your paperwork off and sent it to the solicitor, you can just tap into an app on the phone, and that will then update the records, so you can see how the train's progressing, or even look to see if we are not picking up the file and give us a call and say what you're doing. So
that's brilliant.
We're transparent on that. But I've worked in estate agents over the last 27 years where that doesn't happen, and the fall through rates, and the fall through is whereby the transaction falls through, are high. Okay, right. 1 in 3 is the national average, whereby we are 1 in 9, I think it is at the moment.
That's really good.
And that's how you set the deal up, verify, vet the buyer, vet the chain, vet the mortgage, do all of that things which that's often forgotten about.
The little things make a big difference at the end, right?
Yeah, very much so. Yeah,
excellent. So. That's good. Okay, Phil, so when placing property on the market, how do you, or how the estate agents would get to a asking price? What do you use any specific tools? Why do property end up on the market for a price? This is always a question we're getting from our clients.
Yeah, so past history, you can go back to 2000 and see what properties are sold for. Looking at how much work they've done to the property since buying it, comparable evidence of what's sold in the local area, local knowledge obviously is important, doing your homework, but a lot of these things are available to estate agents that pay for this kind of data.
So you've got special reports and all that?
Correct, from Rightmove, from Zoopla, from the government websites, and various other tools. And by compiling all that data together, whilst understanding what they've spent to it, gives us a way of actually getting a price. Now, it's worth what someone's prepared to pay and what the vendor's prepared to sell, and that's the art of the estate agent, is to get you the best price.
And get those people together at the...
Correct, and start negotiating to get the best price. Currently, at the moment, obviously things are very busy, so it may be a bit flexible on the asking price. You may want to put a guide price or offers in excess of. Open days, all those kind of things are taking place at the moment, and having an estate agent that can put the property to clients without it going on the open market, maybe considering and say, look, we'll put it on for maybe slightly higher than what you want. And show it to people behind the scenes and tell them, look, it will go to the market. Potentially, would you like it before it goes to that? And that's having the database available to us that will enable us to be able to do that. Yeah, but you've got to go through that process and think about it. But yeah, Rightmove, Zoopla, have those tools available to us for
Excellent. So when you are explaining all of that, you can clearly see how important it is to actually have a good estate agent, because you can actually pay for a service of an estate agent, but at the same time make more out of your sale. Is that right?
Yeah, because we've got clients on our database, and our job is to get you the best price, else we wouldn't be here, to be fair. Not just the price, but it's a whole transaction, it's a whole communication we touched on earlier. So, but pricing is important, because you don't want to overprice it. You get a window of a couple of weeks whereby you get your best interest, and then it goes down. And what you'll see is estate agents or other companies potentially reducing the price after a couple of weeks. I think in this market where we're coming up to the end of stamp duty, it's important to get the price, get the activity, and you'll end up getting a bit of
the buyer,
and get it through, because there might be. I think we're on a bit of a cliff edge at the moment, and I think the market may quieten down, but we'll see.
Let's see. Yeah. Let's see. It is hopefully not. Hopefully not. But what has the biggest impact on the price from your experience?
For me, the most important thing that people are looking for is kitchens, bathrooms, and location.
So
they're the most expensive things.
Kitchen
obviously,
and bathroom is obviously
location
a big job,
is expensive if you go to a nicer area. But internally, kitchens, bathrooms, and a house that's presented spaciously, not cluttered. Sounds silly, but opening windows.
Yes,
all those little things, fresh flowers. Just trying to present it. We know you live in a house, we know it's busy, but the important thing is when you're doing the photos and you're getting it to the market, you spend time, get the estate agent to move things around.
Excellent. So those things are important. So to present your property in the best possible light.
Correct.
Tips for the vendors, so keep it fresh.
Clear the worktops in the bathroom and kitchen, okay? Just clear it, okay? Make sure that all of the beds are made.
So the first impression.
Impression is so important. If you've got a hallway, clear the coats off the coat pegs so you can walk into the hallway.
That's a good tip.
Cut your lawn. Yeah.
Remove little things like that.
Remove the cars, the bins off the drive if you're taking photos. Okay, the photos are very, very important because that's your shop window. People go online now, and if they don't like what they see, within the first 5-10 seconds,
they're not going to call you.
They won't even click on it. So you've lost that. I bought a TV the other day, and it's just on a site that I won't mention. both same TVs, clicked on the first one, didn't give me all the dimensions, didn't give me all the photos, didn't give me the dynamics of what I wanted. Second one did, I bought that one, same TV, same price.
More confidence,
more confidence in it, more detail. So that's very important. Making sure when it goes online that it looks the best. When you live in a house, viewing's not so important, but the extra detail to preparing it to get it on the market.
That's brilliant. I think it's important to mention that, because I think everyone who's placing their property in the market would like to achieve the best price, right? And sometimes those little things are really, really easy. Even the lack of paint or whatever you can do to make sure that that you present your house is very important.
It's getting someone to say, "Oh, that's nice," and clicking on it.
Yeah.
And that's where you get the engagement. Then you get a call from an agent you probably never heard of, and they say, "Oh, I've seen you being." So, getting that click-through rate is important, and making sure that it's visible. So, putting it on at the right price. For instance, if you're putting it on at, I don't know, 99,950, you'll be missing people looking from 100 and above. So, put it on a round figure of 100. Rightmove goes up in 25s up to 300. And then it goes, up to 10, 10's up to 300, and then 25's over 300. So put it on for round figures so you get the search criteria above and beneath. So that's important.
So you're not missing out on the people who are setting their own kind of alerts on the Rightmove.
Correct. So it's sat so you get both people over the 100 and people under the 100. Get more inquiries.
Brilliant, excellent. More inquiries, more chance to sell the property, and more chance to achieve the better price.
Yeah, correct.
Amazing. Let's talk, Phil, about some paperwork and formal stuff, the contracts. When placing the property on the market, do you actually have to sign the contract? Is it for a certain amount of time? Can you tell us a bit more about all this kind of nitty-gritty?
Yeah, so estate agent will have to put it on the market, have you sign a contract to give you authority to do so and speak to people about it. So yes, a contract will have to be agreed. Contracts are negotiable, okay, but standard contracts will vary from anywhere from 12 to 22 weeks now.
Wow, okay, so when you place your property on the market, the agents will have enough time to basically put it out there, expose it to the market, and have a chance to sell it.
Get the best price for you, okay? And if anything goes awry, have another chance to do it. Okay, I think if you've got trust in an estate agent, then I think possibly 22 weeks is a bit too long. After 12 weeks, if you've got trust in that estate agent, they just haven't got you over the line just yet, you'd stick with them. So I'd be careful not to do 22 weeks. That's a long time.
That's a long time.
That's a long time.
Especially when you're not happy with the services.
Correct.
Perhaps.
And to get out of that contract is difficult.
Okay, so that's something. Okay, so so if the vendor signs the contract for, let's say, 12 weeks, and they are not happy with what they've got, so they don't see the proactive estate agents, they don't really see the results, is there anything that person can do, or is it very little which can be done?
You really are tied into the contract for that period of time. To get out of any contract, you'll give the notice period. Okay. Again, that varies, but generally it's 2 weeks. Okay.
So you have to actually, so if you're unhappy, you give this notice 2 weeks before your contract expires, or at the point of your contract expires?
It'll be 12 weeks plus 2.
Wow.
So it's 14 weeks.
So if someone wants to get out of it 2 weeks before actually your contract expires, you give the notice to an agent. But that notice period will be as well within the contract, am I right?
Correct. Thanks. Yeah, make sure the estate agent reads the contract through to you, and you read the contract, so there's no hidden surprises. There'll be different clauses in there. You may have to call 14-day calling off period, as we treated a door-to-door salesman when we come into your house. So you have to write to cancel with 14 days, but they will ask you to waiver that, and if you waiver that,
then you don't have the rights.
They will also have a clause in there, probably say that they've spent money marketing, so you may have to give them a nominal fee to cover their marketing costs for that period of time.
And can you actually place the property on the market with many agents, or do you what's the best way? Because sometimes clients are phoning us and saying this property is on the market with 2 agents. I personally don't know whether that sends the good message, whether it says that someone's very desperate to sell, or it's just that sort of signal.
Why would you put it on with 2 agents at the moment? One, it costs more. Okay,
and so the agent will charge you more for that sort of multi-exposure.
We would charge you more because the fact that we winner takes all. So it's a joint agency contract. If we don't sell it, then we've spent money marketing and we don't get anything out of it. The other agent does.
You spend time and money and you don't get anything out of it.
So we would generally charge slightly more. But with the power of the internet now, as long as you choose the right estate agent at the beginning, make sure that the marketing's good, that your presentation, which we discussed, makes your house look warm and homely. There's no need.
There's no need.
Houses sell themselves at the end of the day. You just want to make sure that the exposure that's given to your property is as good as it can be, and that's our job.
Excellent.
And we would package tailor package something for you to make sure that you get a marketing package that suits your needs. Okay.
Excellent.
And that can vary. We do virtual tours now with COVID, so we can go in and do a virtual tour, which means you can walk around the house and we can talk to you on a Zoom call about the property, give you the indications of where they're going, etc. And yeah, so we can do it all remotely. So
that's pretty amazing. The technology is definitely a help, great help.
Oh, it's great. Yeah,
especially in that solicitor's process where you've said that was never available before, right? Whatever we've got now, it's absolutely amazing.
It's fantastic. Yeah. I'll send you one so you can have a look at it.
Yeah, excellent. So, Phil, at Step by Step Financial Solutions, we obviously deal with the financial side of the transactions. A lot of clients will contact us. We will then prepare them to buy the property. Many times it happens that people are missing out on the property they really like. When the sellers agreed, so if the estate agents agreed to sell with the buyer and you viewed that property and you haven't heard, let's say, from an agent, they've just chosen someone and you felt that you're missing out, is that really a game over, or can you do something about that?
Once it's been agreed, it's been agreed. If you viewed a property, you are entitled to put an offer forward. If you viewed a property and you wish to make an offer, although it's been agreed, the estate agent has to put that offer forward.
Fine. So they've obviously done the work. They've got a good buyer. The vendor is happy with that buyer. However, if someone is making an offer on that property, you as an estate agent have to call the vendor and say, look, we've got another offer on the table, and then it's down to the vendor to decide.
Correct.
Okay. So when you're talking to an agent and they say, no, it's sold, they obviously not going to encourage you to make an offer because they feel that this transaction is already tied up. However, you as a buyer, you can actually say, I know that you're legally obliged to make that offer, put that offer forward. Can you please talk to the vendor? We really like the place. Yeah. Do you see that happen often?
If they viewed the property, we would. That's fine. If they haven't viewed the property, then you can't really make an offer because you haven't seen it. Yeah.
So to make an offer, you actually have to see the place.
If you wanted to, then we'd have to ask the vendor if you wanted to view it. Really wanted to view it, then we'd ask the vendor, and again, it's down to them. We have to act on behalf of our vendors all the time, and if you ask the question, we have to pose it to them. Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah. Excellent. I'll take a time as well and ask you about the negotiation process. I know you're very experienced. You've got all that knowledge. Can you please give us a little tips how to negotiate, what to do to make sure that you present your offer in the best possible light as well as a buyer? Yeah.
So firstly, make sure you've got an agreement in principle. Which is you. Make sure that's to hand and updated. Know your chain. So if you have sold, what the chain is, how many links it is. That's worthwhile. If you're going to take a transaction and you've got two offers, agree the offer that's got the slightly less chain because less things to go wrong. So have all that information ready and basically keep a little bit up your sleeve.
Right, so the first time buyers are the good buyers, the best buyers because they've got nothing to sell.
Correct.
Right? Yep. But at the same time, the agreement in principle, so the agent is really paying attention to the fact whether they can afford that property or not.
Yes, so the agent will ask, first of all, for you to see to their financial advisor.
Okay.
You might want to go along with that to put your offer forward in the best possible stead, but you don't have to use them. Okay. They will also check the chain, so they'll speak to your estate agent. So when they put the offer forward to the owner, that they can actually verify they can afford it and they're ready to go. Okay. And I'll always keep a little bit up your sleeve just for a bit of negotiation.
Don't put the highest offer first, right? So do you see that the vendors are likely to reject the first offer? And
yeah, Yeah,
fine.
Unless it's closed bids, sealed bids.
Because it happens as well, right? Where you've got plenty of offers. I think that's the most difficult situation, where there's a
going at your
2,
best.
3, 5 offer. Just go to your best at that point.
If it's not about, if you like that house and it's worth that to you, pay it.
Fine. Because I think it's worth mentioning as well, there's slightly different rules apply when you buy your family home, and there's a slightly different rules for the investment, right? So the investment will be more savvy, more less emotion driven, more number driven, right?
Yeah.
Whereas on the other side, when you're buying your family home, it's this few £1,000s
is irrelevant, because it's where the schools is, or near the work, or access, whatever it may be.
Or the condition of the place.
Or condition. Yeah. So you'll pay for that. It's not a monetary thing at the moment. Let's be honest, the housing market in 10 years' time is going to be further forward than it is now. So whatever happens, you shouldn't lose money on it. Okay, so it's what you're prepared to pay for it.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So again, our clients will phone us and they will be asking whether they have to use that financial advisor or that solicitor recommended by an agent. What would you say to that? Is there a must use, or is there a choice from the client standpoint?
There's always a choice.
There's always a choice.
Yeah. Okay. No objection speak to the financial advisor. It might help put your offer forward in the best possible light. However, you can choose your solicitor and your financial advisor. The
tips which we are giving to our clients is to make sure that they actually are open-minded. So
correct.
Even if they are pressurized to go and see that financial advisor, why not? It's half an hour, 45 minutes out of people's time, but at least you don't put a fence against estate agents, and you actually are being friendly and open. I think
correct.
It may help later on down the line. Is that right?
Yeah, it really will.
You can always consider a service, right? You don't have to agree to anything.
And there may be a suggestion that person comes up with that maybe you haven't, and you may then go back to Adam and have that discussion. So always take advice. The more advice you can get, the better understanding you are, and the best product you'll get. But you do not have to use them. No.
Excellent.
Or their solicitors. But using their solicitors means that they can chase it through quicker, and it takes the pressure off you when you're busy at work or arts, kids, whatever it may be, to call them, because you can call them at lunch, where a solicitor's at lunch, where are they after 5? At home. Weekends at home, as where we're there all the time.
So
it does help.
Get that advice. Yeah. Excellent. Another subject, and I really want to touch on that. Clients will phone us and they will say, this property came not even on the market, it was actually sold before. Yeah. Do you see that happening?
A lot.
Okay.
Certainly at the moment, because the demand is very high and there's not enough properties out there. So we've sold 2 already this week that didn't even go to the market.
Wow.
Just by our database knowledge and understanding of our clients' needs. And the client benefited from that, because they wanted 700, and we said, well, let's put it on as a guide price of 720, and told the client that if it goes to the market, you may get involved with a lot of offers. If you wanted to buy it today, it's 720. They offered 715. They were happy. The vendor obviously happy.
So everyone is happy in that.
Everyone's happy on that basis.
Fine. So there will be people who's going to be obviously missing out on that property.
Correct.
What can an average buyer do to make sure that they are the one who's going to be phoned up and contacted about the new instructions, the new property? Is there anything which can help the buyer?
Be friendly with your local estate agent.
We always encourage people to go and
go and say hello, meet, greet. So if difficult now, you can't come into offices, obviously.
Yeah.
But it's nice to put a name to a face. And if they've got stuff go and have a look at it. If they call you up, go and have a look at it. It may not be for you, but it may well be. By doing that, you're helping them as well, getting viewings. Be friendly, be nice.
So even if the property isn't ideal, as a buyer, when you phoning me up and you're saying, Adam, there is a property you may like, it's in your price range. If I know that it's not up to my taste, it's still good to go spend that 15-20 minutes, because it may help you.
Yeah, initially go around, see the agents, get yourself registered, and then just regularly, just keep in contact with them.
Fine.
Phone them up. They should keep in contact with you as well, but there's no hello, here again, and they'll remember you. Looking. So you'll be in the forefront of their mind.
I always say to my clients, when I was an estate agent, I used to have 100 clients in my database. I didn't remember all of them, but I certainly did remember those who came in, who actually phoned me up, and I've seen a few properties with them. You actually remember those people, so that's
it's important.
It is. People buying from people, right?
Yeah, I know most people don't like estate agents, but hey, there you go. Be friendly to them.
I think we over that reputation. I hope so.
I
think it's a different times, and everyone can see. And the transparency, I think, now needs to be higher because you've got that online exposure, and as you said, the Google reviews, all that.
Transparency is so important.
You can't really do.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, that's good. So, in terms of working with Chimney Pots Estate Agents, do you only work with a local community, or are you kind of a nationwide?
So we work with RAM, which is a relocation agent network, which is basically good local independent estate agents across the whole country on this network. So we can sell a property via this network anywhere, basically. We generally cover Southampton and Portsmouth. We're a hybrid estate agent. Okay. So we've got one office, which we have 9 full members of staff now.
Is that interesting, that hybrid model? Because I think people now can either go towards like a pure online estate agents or go towards like a corporate high street agent. So do you think you sit kind of somewhere in between? Yeah,
well, I say we don't have your expensive high street office, although we've got a lovely office. But because we don't have those expensive high street offices, we can have more staff in an office, which means we're much more reactive and proactive. So we can accommodate all situations. We can be busy on the phones, phoning out while doing viewings and valuations, where working for other estate agents, we only had one person in 2 offices. And so it doesn't work that way now. So because of that, we can give you your property more time, and hopefully get a better price for you. So the hybrid basically means that we are an estate agent, but from a satellite office.
So if I've got a property in Bournemouth, or if I've got a property in Andover, if I've got a property in Basingstoke, I can still phone you up and say, can you please take care of my property?
And we can do that for you.
That's amazing.
We can do that for you. So we can accommodate viewings, do the valuation, depending on what packages you want, which obviously we vary our packages on needs, and as we said earlier, tailor-make a package for individuals' needs. But yes, we can accommodate that, but still back it up and have the sales progression. So once we've got you a buyer, got the marketing to get you the best price, we'll then chase the transaction through, so you can get on with your daily life and let us worry about it, because it is stressful.
Amazing. One of the last thing I would like to mention is, and I think the timing is really right for that to mention, because we've still got this stamp duty holiday period after the COVID. When selling a property, if I'm selling the property and I want to make sure that I secure the buyer and the transaction goes smoothly, is there anything I can do as a seller to actually save some time and make sure the transaction is put together really quickly?
Yeah, if you're thinking of selling, first of all, get an agreement in principle. Make sure you can afford to buy. Mortgages are tougher, and Adam will advise you on that, but with COVID they are lot tougher. So certainly if you're self-employed,
it makes our job slightly more difficult.
Correct. So that's priority number 1. My advice also, certainly if leasehold, but no, if you're selling full stop, get a solicitor instructed.
Right.
Get your paper.
Get them involved.
If it's leasehold, make sure you get the lease information from the management company, but get the paperwork underway. Get it filled out. Get it back to the solicitor. So when hopefully we get you a buyer, you can then pass that to the solicitor straight away, or the solicitor can pass it on to the buyers straight away. If you take 2 weeks to fill your paperwork back after you've agreed a transaction, it will take the solicitor another 2 weeks to act on it. That's a month. Then their solicitor and their paper, that's 2 months.
That's already 2 months gone. And
with things at the moment happening so quickly, not always good news. my advice is if you can speed that transaction up to 6 weeks, 8 weeks, do it.
Right, so if I've changed the window, have a fence certificate ready, right? Because
Correct.
your solicitor will ask for that.
Correct.
I need to make a decision as well of what's staying in the property, is that right?
Yep.
I need to think about the fixtures and
Yep.
fittings, any building regs documents,
Yep. Boiler check,
permissions or anything.
electrical tech.
Yeah, the gas.
Gas.
So to get all of that together and have the packet ready, so you've got everything and you're saving time.
So on day one, your solicitor, we send over the sales memo, can give it to the buyer solicitor day one. That buyer solicitor will go, they mean business. And if that happens, the transaction will go quickly.
And they pick it up and they just go with that.
Yeah. So that's important.
That's
okay.
Amazing. That's amazing. That's amazing, Philip. Thank you very much for that. I think we've covered a lot of grounds today. We will put a link and contact details, Chimney Pots Estate Agents, underneath that video. So if you would like to contact Phil, you're going to have all the informations there. And hopefully, even if you've got a few questions, I'm pretty sure you would be happy to help and,
of course.
And answer
anything. Of course. Yeah, give my mobile, email, whatever it may be, but we're more than happy to help anything.
That's brilliant. Excellent.
Right, thank you.
Thank you very much for that. I hope you really enjoyed that video. If you like it, please make sure you subscribe to our channel. It certainly gives us a more exposure and more motivation to give you a valuable content and everything about the property knowledge. So thank you very much for today. Thank you very much, Philip.
No problem. Thank you.
And I will talk to you later. Thank you.
Cheers.